It is another corporate time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Science on Tap is on the 20th. You can get $50 tickets if you use promo code Tom and Dan 50.
Yeah, man.
And that's $10 off. You can go to osc.org for your tickets.
30 different local breweries, science installations, demonstrations.
Awesome beer
They got
fest.
the science going on. They throw money at it so it looks nice. Signage, bathrooms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Right next to the Science Center in the that grass field area, and then also the Solar Bears Whiteout game is on the 27th of this month.
White out!
And we're going to do a pre-tailgate that Mo DeWitt is sponsoring. And Bus Decker said he's going to have some Mo beers out there. And we're going to get some other
How
things.
many Mo?
Bus Decker said he's going to grill hot dogs himself.
No, he's not.
No,
What
are
do they
we,
got
what
him
are we, a
doing?
Lowe's?
That's what he
No,
said.
I'm not doing that. What are we, a Lowe's? What are we
I don't want it
opening?
unless he's going to be
What are we
also
opening?
cooking onions.
Are we opening a Tractor Supply? I'm not doing that. I'm not going to stand next to Buster. What, he's going to have a chef hat on to come get
He's
your
doing
hand
it.
I was like,
grilled
go grill the
That's
hot
an
dogs.
embarrassment.
I was like, don't you have people for that?
Yeah, we need the
He's like,
people.
no, he's like, I'm doing that.
Can't we get caterers to do it? He's going to drag an old tiny charbroil
No.
out there. He's going to be grilling them up.
No,
Is he going to buy big turbo dogs or is he going to get
I
those
don't know
little
what he's
tiny
buying.
Big
wieners?
bus wieners.
Yeah, they got to be the turbo dogs from Costco.
Mo's putting Buster
They
Ward
gotta
to
be
grill
the
those hot
quarter
dogs. Anyway, let's do some weird
All
jobs.
right, man. We always start the beginning of the year with the original theme song, and then we'll get to the new ones that I've been messing up. But let's just say I'm working on one that's Morrissey. It's going to be weird. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you. Was that twice as long?
It seemed
Isn't
longer.
it? My God. It's like nodding off during that. I feel like I was
I
in
thought
church.
Tom fell asleep.
Yeah, I thought he did too. I was falling asleep.
I was waiting for it. You know, people like it.
I mean, that's what they were saying. They're putting
Yeah.
American flag emojis in there. They're saying, I love all the songs. I'm like, I guess.
Yeah, we don't have to be in a hurry. Calm down. Calm. Bill Cosby. Whatever happened to Bill Cosby?
He's dead.
Did he
back
die?
out.
Oh.
I thought he was going to go back on tour.
Well, there was a rumor that when he got released, right? We were all like, he's blind, let him go. So we did. And then,
that's not what any of society
yeah,
said.
that's what they said.
I think all of society was like, what? You let him go?
No,
He's
no.
a blind
I
rapist.
didn't hear one person say that.
You let the blind rapist go?
Everybody turned a blind eye to it. They
He's getting
did.
sued again.
Oh, leave him alone. Leave him alone.
For
He's
sexual
fine.
assault.
He's fine.
No, he's
now.
a horrible monster.
He's an old man. He'll be dead soon.
Yeah, but it was good.
Let him just do a last couple bucket lists and he'll be out of here. We're almost done with his time.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by Modern Plumbing.
Yeah,
all
there
right,
you
so Joseph's on the line. How you doing, Joseph?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
Good.
Oh, man, this guy just sparked the J.
So, Joseph, what is your weird job?
I am a route technician for an amusement company. We do bar games, ATMs, jukeboxes, arcade games, stuff like that.
All right, so you're a tech for arcade games, jukeboxes. It's weird that ATMs are thrown in there. That's banking.
They're all kind of the same, though, like smaller, publicly used computer devices, I guess.
Pretty much, yeah. Nowadays, that's what they are. Yeah.
Yeah, is the technology in a lot of them sort of similar? Like, is an ATM like deceivingly harder to work on than, let's say, like Galaga or something?
Actually, yes. ATMs are the most locked down thing that we work on. Like, you have to get special codes and stuff to change any part of an ATM.
That's pretty cool.
Well, let's start from the beginning. How'd you get into this industry?
I lived in Cleveland for a while, and I got a job at a casino that was owned by Caesars as a slot tech. And I did that for a couple years and became the lead tech there, and then came back down home here to Orlando. And I had a friend that was a manager of the Tilt Arcade in the Fashion Square Mall that got me into this job.
Yeah. I remember Tilt
So
Arcade.
did they train you to be a slot tech at the casino?
Yeah, there was a month of each shift on training, but I had always been into computers and networking and stuff my whole life.
So this isn't necessarily difficult for you, right?
No, it's actually, I love to do it, to be honest.
That's awesome, man.
Well,
Hell yeah.
Let's talk about slot machines for a second.
How do I win?
Because
I do love a good slot machine, man.
I know that because I'm obsessed with anybody who cheats the system, and I saw all my TikTok algorithm actually is now
how to cheat
filled,
on your wife and your family.
No, filled with like counterfeiters that like make counterfeiting money, and they're like many documentaries about how they do it.
This is now making me concerned.
Yeah,
And
super
why
healthy
is that on your algorithm?
Yeah, healthy algorithm.
And then I also I love like when counterfeiters like counterfeit.
Is this what T&D Medical's about?
Hold on.
Shell company.
Casino chips and things like that. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
But so and I know there's a lot of cheaters with slot machines and like people that like plug in their own stuff to it or like break in the machine some way and rig them to win. So there's security measures with slot machines. So explain like getting into them, working on them, like how do they work?
Well, you have to check out keys from a giant lockbox at the start of your shift with your own personal code. And only certain people get certain keys to certain parts of every slot machine. But anytime you change software, the Ohio Lottery Commission had to be present, and you had to do an audit every time before the machine could be played by the public. And really, it's ran on EEPROMs, which is just a randomizer chip in the slot machine. I am unaware of any way to actually successfully fix a slot machine, at least in Ohio.
Gotcha.
Because of their standards. I mean, if you opened it and you weren't supposed to, security would know right away because everything's networked to them.
Yeah.
So they would know an open door, an open cash box.
Yeah. Am I correct in assuming that since you worked your way up to like the top tier, that for you, when you would go and put in your code and check out keys, you could get anything you wanted, right? Because you were the guy?
Yeah, we could get anything we wanted, and in fact, the lead slot techs had to do the audits as well as the software installed. So, and then the managers checked off on them, and the commission checked off on that.
What were the most common things that were wrong with the slot machines?
By far, dusty sensors and printers.
Dust.
Smoke.
The dust got 'em.
Yeah, some cigarettes, right? Is it for ashes or like old ladies that had dusty hair?
Yeah, the building was really old. It was actually at Thistledown Horse Track, and it was a pretty old building, so dust built up extremely rapidly in that place. But slot machines are built pretty well. Like, actual component problems don't pop up that often, but when they do, you have to switch the whole board, reinstall the software, get it checked out by the commission and all that stuff.
How long does it take? Like, so I'm running a slot machine. I put my money in. I pull it. Error. You're called. You say, hey, I'm sorry. Here's your money refunded. I have to take this one off the floor. How long before you can get that guy back up and running, like, ballpark?
Well, if it's something like a dusty sensor, then the attendant would come. If he couldn't fix it, then they'd call us, and I would just blow in. Pretty much, I'd lean over and blow in the printer and walk away, and it would work.
No,
Nintendo.
The old Nintendo.
Nintendo cartridge it, sure.
All right, so let's talk arcade games because
God, I miss the vibe of an arcade, and I feel pretty confident it's probably the same reason I like casinos. I like small rooms. I like small, sad rooms that are dark with people playing tiny stand-up computers. That's what I like.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
What when you're fixing an arcade game, is it the same, premise as far as like there's just I imagine a tiny, like hardware in the giant box,
a motherboard,
and then you're replacing it or refixing the software.
The newer stuff is pretty much a computer with a motherboard, RAM, CPU, power supply, and then in almost every game you have an I/O board, which is an input-output board. And most commonly the computers break because the companies don't buy the top quality computers because they're pushing out thousands and thousands of these games at a time. They do different software security on them too, like protected hard drives, so you can't clone it or rip the hard drive. And yeah, there's a lot of different securities put in place so that you can't pirate their games. The older stuff are more custom-made circuit boards, like I'd say from the 90s before. Each game would have its own circuit board made for it, but that doesn't really happen anymore.
Yeah, like so an arcade game, if that like what's the major or let's say most often the problem that you would have with like a standard stand-up arcade game?
Either the monitor, backlights, or power supply board and the monitor going out, or the hard drive or the power supply of the computer being bad.
Going back to slot machines for a second, can we get rid of some common myths that are out there that I hear all the time when I'm around a casino?
Okay.
Where even on the cruise ship, we're going on the Tom and Dan cruise, Tom and Dan Cruise 2024. .com if you want to book
I forgot about that. Yeah, you got to put the .com on the end. Put the .com on the end.
But we'll walk by slot machines, and then someone will tell me, this one's bound to hit because I see this person played it for a while, and then now I have a better chance because it's
There's
due.
no such thing as it's
I've
due.
heard that too.
And then I'm like,
Okay.
And then I'm like,
He's like,
I love this. I love
All
the
right.
divining rods for
Mythbusters.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the payout percentage of a slot machine is based on a few years overall. So they're set to pay out a certain amount over this couple of year time period, but it's almost impossible to tell when, except when you see those progressive jackpot slot machines. A lot of them will have a maximum jackpot that it can get up to. Let's say it's 500.
Sure.
The closer that jackpot gets to 500, the higher the percentage of you winning that jackpot is. And it's almost 100% when it gets to 500. So in that sense, yeah, you can kind of tell
All right,
when
guys.
it's about to hit.
Let's
but
take over the casino on the boat,
I gotta
baby.
tell you, bro, I've been playing progressive slots for a very long time. Not competitively or anything, but you see that one and it's attractive. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Let me just tell you, what Joseph is saying is not some secret.
No.
The slot machine old ladies know this.
They know this.
And
And they'll body check you.
I know some slot machine people that actually go to Hard Rock and then go to Hard Rock a lot and
They're
play
in the
slot
commercials
machines. They
too.
love
Have
it.
you seen the commercial people?
Yeah.
Oh, they're great.
And they all have these systems and these basically they're like, all right, this is my strategy. And I'm like, I don't think there's a strategy. I'm like, this is all random. There is no you're not gambling on the NFL. You're trying to get the positive EV on the line here. It's just but you're telling me that there's progressive slot. Now how is it advertised that this is the limit, or is it totally?
Yes. Yeah, on the somewhere, well, at least in Ohio, somewhere around where the jackpot's showing in little letters, it'll say maximum jackpot is blank.
Huh.
So your goal is to sit down at one of those games that's as close to that maximum jackpot as possible. And yeah, that is public information. Like the Ohio Lottery Commission would have to tell you that if you called as a citizen and asked about it.
What's the most popular? Because Tom and I got into it for a little while, especially on our scuba diving trip. We fell in love with the Elvis slot machine that has a chair and speakers and it's 20 feet tall and there's different versions of it. What's the craziest slot machine that's out there right now? Or are you no longer in that game?
I haven't been in that game for 7 years or so, but as I was leaving, there was a prototype 3D slot machine on the floor.
There we go.
You didn't even have to have goggles on. It was crazy. It was Egyptian base, and you would see the coins flying at you. It was surreal.
Oh, I put a mummy. Oh, there's a mummy. Ooh, the mummy comes out.
Yeah, it was.
And then the whale
pretty
comes
cool.
out because he was in the mummy, right?
So
Mummy versus the whale, the slot machine. Who wins?
I don't know. Maybe
Who
you should
wins?
patent that one.
Who do you think wins, the whale or the mummy?
Oh, the whale.
I agree with you.
hold on.
the
The
whale.
mummy has magical powers.
No. The whale
The mummy
wins.
can control the sand.
No, the whale just sits on the mummy, and then the
No.
mummy's like, "Get off of me!"
No,
and then the whale says, "Say, uncle."
The whale cries too much. That's what I know. I've seen it.
You know that was below the belt.
So Joseph, let's talk ATMs. What?
How do we break into them?
I've seen these videos.
I've just seen the rednecks
online.
yank them out of the convenience store with their trucks.
Like-
Have you seen those on Reddit?
Oh, yeah,
They
yeah,
tie
yeah.
the chain and then they just yank it out the window.
Like I've seen people buy like old ATMs and then do a video of them trying to break into them and they're sawing them up and then it's like, well, of course, like whoever put this up for auction took the money out
Yeah.
of the vault and the,
Yeah.
and the you know,
Oh,
the
they think there's
safe.
still money in there?
Yeah. They're
Oh,
like,
I thought they were just seeing if they could do it.
They're like,
Well,
a
that's
lot
stupid.
of these decommissioned ones still got some bills in there.
All
We're
right.
gonna saw this
Your
thing.
algorithm's full of dum-dums.
well, they know me.
Just like Tom.
I know what I am. I know what I am.
So tell us about ATMs.
There's not much to say about them really. It's pretty much a safe with a combination lock on the bottom of the ATM, which is also where most of the weight is. That we pretty much drill into the foundation of the building. So yes, you would need something like a large truck and a chain to even get it to budge.
Wait, the ATM at all of the marijuana shops is drilled into the ground? I don't think so. I think I pushed that thing over.
Well, depending on the operator of the ATM, that might be different. They
Gotcha.
might be lazy, but there's pre-drilled holes in the bottom of that thing for you to do that, and we do that to all of ours because most of ours are at bars and,
Yeah.
places like that.
If you want my Dan Dennis redneck moment, I thought that Tom and I, the true, hats off to success, would be at one point we would have a studio with an ATM in the studio. For some reason, that means you're a successful rich businessman to me, and I don't know why.
We can order an ATM.
Let's get one.
You can get one
Let's
and,
get one.
and have it installed,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they put the money in, and then you pay some rental fee
Let's
because
do it.
of but it's for what for
Let's
us?
put it outside.
Oh, because we've never bought anything before that we didn't need.
Let's put it outside.
No, but it's not even.
Follow me. We put it outside, and we put a microphone outside, and then while the person's getting their money,
Yes.
we get on a speaker. We're like, "Hey, you want to be interviewed real fast? We need a weird job." And they're like, "All right."
So Joseph,
Yeah.
back to the arcade games. I'm
Joseph likes me.
What's your daily routine? Do you just go you get in the morning where you're
Oh,
supposed
yeah.
to go?
Do you have like
or-
a route?
So yeah, there's a route. We do the greater Central Florida area. We got places like Wally's, Tangeray's. We got like 100 different places.
Hell yeah.
So usually, yes, in the morning we get a list of ATMs that need money and a list of service calls that need done, and we split them up between the three guys here, and we go do that. Obviously, sometimes calls come in randomly, and we have to add that to our day.
How much
you-
money?
Oh, so you put money in the ATMs too?
Yes.
How much money is in the standard ATM? Like when you're leaving one, how much do you throw in there?
At our ATMs, we usually typically don't put more than 2,000, depending on the location.
Gotcha.
It really depends, but usually more than 2,000 at a time. So we're there frequently, filling them up.
Gotcha.
So your company trusts you with carrying around a bunch of cash.
Yeah.
Man, it would be hard for me not to.
All
The
right.
first day, just drive away.
Is it like a pay by?
Oh, I mean, it's
is it a
not
pay
worth
by
it in the
job
long
thing?
run.
Like, what if you only have 3 things to fix that day?
Then you would come back to the warehouse and fix one of our couple hundred games that we have here.
Never-ending sea of stuff to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you take your time when you go out there. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Like I got 3. Like as I said,
Slow.
I'm going to Wally's to fix their. You know how you put what is that, like the bar top? The naked woman.
Oh, yeah.
And what's
match
different?
game,
Match
dude.
game. Yeah,
Oh yeah, match game. Do you fix?
What are you just playing it?
Do you fix the naked man and naked lady match games?
Those are mega touches.
Hey.
Those are very,
Hey.
very uncommon anymore.
Can we
Those
buy a
have
mega
kind of been
touch,
phased
Tom?
out.
Yes, we can.
Are they collector's item? Thank you. Oh my God, Sam. That's the first time I've
So
ever.
we get that. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna play naked lady match 'em ups.
But you go out there and you take your time. You put your tools out.
You know what? I just had a thought.
Use the
No,
bathroom.
I pretty much frantically drive from place to place because I want to get home on time. It's pretty much how my day.
There
Oh,
used to be a Mega Touch at Daddy Roulette's old Calico Jacks.
Yeah.
And now I'm unlocking a memory of me sitting there alone drinking a beer playing Naked Lady Match, and that's disgusting.
You love
It
the
was
Mega
a,
Touch.
it was a different time, though, right? Like, you could sit there alone and play the Naked Lady Match game and not be a pervert.
Remember when we did our Tom and Dan Christmas party at Tony Palmiotti's biker bar?
Yeah, what bar was that?
The cork room?
Yeah, the cork room. Yeah.
And
And I played Mega Touch
played
with
Mega Touch.
SBK.
Yeah.
I played Ding Dong
That-
Mega
that
Touch with
was
SBK.
A decade ago.
Was it maybe longer?
Cork room's still hopping, by the way.
Still?
Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go.
I only know that because
damn.
my cheapo husband goes to the Shell gas station next door because he has like gas points from Kroger.
Oh, God.
He drives all the way to that Shell gas
him
station.
alone.
It's
Don't
right next to the cork
Leave him
room.
alone.
Hold on. For the small discount, isn't it like
It
they
is
waste
him.
more gas
It's a
than
victory
to
him.
get there?
It's a victory to him.
So Joseph, let's end this with how much money do you make a year doing your repairs?
I think I make about $1,500 a week salary. I never really added it up. Maybe like close to 70,000 or
That's
something
good.
like that.
Yeah. I mean, and you said earlier, and I think this was
That you
off
like
air,
doing
but
it.
that you love doing your
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
And that's the best part. I always enjoy it when I hear somebody. It also inspires me. You know, it's like when you hear somebody and they're like, "Yeah, man, I love doing this. This is fun." You know.
Yeah, and at this point in time, you know how to fix everything. You're not really stumped by something anymore, right?
Not usually, and and if I am, it's my favorite part of the job.
Have
That's
you-
what I like doing new stuff is what I like. When I learn how to fix something, I kind of get bored with it, so I always try to move on to the next thing,
That's good,
bypassing
man.
securities and all that stuff.
Have you ever fixed either a Space Ace or a Dragon's Lair game?
No, not a Space Ace, but Dragon's Lair. Yeah, I used to work at Arcade Monsters for a short period of time, and yeah, I worked
Do
on
you remember
that.
those games? That
Yeah.
game to me was so weird because you were only picking a direction and it only had to do with your eyes viewing the cartoon and then trying to get your hero out of there and it would just go to a cutscene. There was literally no real like movement of a pixel at all. You're just choosing scenes. I became obsessed as a young man in my 20s with Space Ace, which is the space version of Dragon. It's just Dragon's Lair in space.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
thing. Hot girl gets captured by alien, then you got to get Space Ace there, or you got to get the guy from Dragon's Lair there. I love those games, man.
Well, Joseph, thanks for being involved with Weird Job Wednesday. We appreciate it. And do you ever have any like arcade games, or if you do have some that are being decommissioned or laying around, we want one for the studio.
Yeah, our old accountant who used to do coke, he had one, and man, oh wait,
Yeah.
that was a pinball machine, wasn't it?
No, it was arcade.
Oh,
it was
arcade?
Pac-Man.
Oh, it was Pac-Man. Yeah.
I was
That
like,
guy.
this guy knows numbers. He's
Yeah.
got Pac-Man.
He had the reddest Rogan face. Holy smokes.
That's,
Yeah,
that's the old
Yeah,
old
that
one.
was the old Tom and Dan with the old, old. That wasn't
Yeah,
Bernie.
that's back when we used to do our Christmas parties at biker bars.
Yeah, exactly.
Now they run a medical office.
Your accountants do cocaine when you're at the biker bar. Everyone knows.
All right, Joseph, take it easy.
You too.
All right,
That's
man.
it.
Be good. Thanks again. That was
Yeah,
cool.
super chill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
You just sit there laughing. You can tell he really likes his job too.
There's got to be a way that I can get in with Joseph to rig some slot machines.
He won't wanna do
it.
He's not going to lose his job
No,
for you.
dude. I mean, there is a way, but Joseph isn't your guy. Too nice, too kind. Why would you do that to him? It sounds like a loving man.
Just he needs some excitement in his life.
You don't know that.
Yeah. Oh, you're
Everybody-
deciding that.
You're telling us about this guy's life that you just met.
Everybody needs excitement in their life. That's my new thing. I need it. You guys need it. Everybody needs it. And I'm here to give it to you.
Oh, no.
Oh, X gonna give it to me. What?
All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back with more corporate time.
Oh my God, that's funny. He was very nice.
Yeah. That's
Where's that go?
Wednesday 1.
Do we have anything?
Yes, we
three.
should have a 3. Yeah.
I was watching this counterfeiting TikTok mini documentary, and
I love mini documentaries. I was watching mini documentaries. I watched a mini documentary yesterday on the clouded. Do you know the city in Hong Kong that it's just a. It's the
Yes.
yeah I know so, yeah anyway sorry you were
no. It's this guy was like he got obsessed with making counterfeit money, and he started off with just like, let me see if I could do it. Then once he got
what
it,
kind
really,
of guy? Is like a nerd guy, like, or just
No.
like what did he do before that, or do they go into that at all?
he's like a trashy nerd. There's
Okay.
a lot of trashy nerds that will
Yeah.
do crime, but
Rob-
they're smart
Rob-
enough
Rob
to.
Is
Dyrdek.
it Tuttle?
Yeah, no, there's that-
Tuttle is a trashy
That's what
nerd.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so he started making these hundreds, and the hardest part was getting the paper, and then once he started making them, then the next part was basically making change for all the hundreds, and that was his whole day. Like his whole day was going to these different places and and making basically laundering it,
Yeah.
putting it into the system, getting real money back,
Right.
and then he was able to do it for like years until he got to the point where he got greedy. It's
he
all
get-
about getting greedy.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And then
Did you guys ever watch Good Girls?
no,
Yes.
Good Girls.
Hold on.
They launder money in that show.
How do they do it?
That was it's a sitcom, right? Or not a sitcom.
It was a
show.
comedy,
It was a
yeah.
show. Yeah.
Mhm.
I remember that. I didn't watch it. No.
I mean, there was like 4 seasons, so they had to change it up quite a bit. Because that's the thing, right? When you do it, you got to change up how you're doing it, or you're gonna get caught.
Yeah. That's I mean, it's gotta be stressful.
Oh, my God.
And then you end up having all this counterfeit money, and they do not fuck around when it comes to counterfeiting. Like that's all like the Secret Service is. That's part of their
I
department.
remember my mom yelling at me one time. I was at her school as a little kid, and I went to the color copier machine that they had just installed at the school she was setting up over the summer. And it was like a really fancy library, and they had this, like, for the time, a badass copier. And I stuck a $1 bill in there, and I photocopied both sides of it, and I, like, tried to tape it together. And I was like, look what I did. And she was like, oh, my God. She's, like, so mad at me. Like, you can't do that. You'll go to
Super
jail.
illegal.
Yeah, she's, like, wearing me out, man. What up, buddy? I blew both of that, but we corrected it.
Hello, boys.
I like the jacket, man. It's nice. I got a jacket on order that might be here this week. It's a Run the Jewels jacket.
Oh, hell yeah. To go with the shoes?
Yeah, but I probably, we'll see. Do I need a jacket?
I mean, 6 months of the year.
I don't know.
I
wish.
I'll wear my hoodie until May or a jacket until May.
Well, hoodies in here are almost
That's
essential.
what I was gonna say. In
Yeah.
here, you gotta have a hoodie.
Yeah, hoodies are essential in here.
Our offices are cold too, so.
You guys are cold boys.
Keep it crispy.
Boys. Crispy boys.
Crispy boys.
Is that still a thing?
I don't think so.
What's going on, y'all?
Hanging in.
What's new and exciting? Do you have a good?
What cool shoes did you get from Plato's Closet this
Oh
time?
yeah, though. What were the ones you scooped up that I saw that were like next to brand
They
new?
got shit by my
Oh,
Plato's.
lots of them. What did I get? I got a pair of. I just got a pair of Griffies that are like brand new with the thing in them, but they mislabeled them. They said they were size 11 on Instagram. I didn't check the second shoe and didn't check inside of it. They're like a size 8 or 8.5 or something, but they're still like brand new. So I'm
Hey.
gonna probably sell those, so I can't wear
I
them.
might buy one.
Yeah. What size are you?
8.5
Yeah,
in
me
men's.
too. Me too.
They're in my car right now.
Oh, shit.
Let's say go look at me still out the
Try
trunk.
'em on.
That's awesome. We'll do a TikTok about it. That's how I used to buy my movies up at the radio station. There used to be a guy named well, yeah, no, I'm not gonna be able to remember it. Pig Joe? I think it was Big Joe.
Pig Joe.
Big Joe.
Oh.
Big Joe. And he would bring up the standard, hood CDs, the burned,
For sure.
and he'd open his trunk.
2
up,
foot of 20.
I
Everything
made
would be in there.
So many burn CDs.
Everything.
Oh.
He would give me everything, man. I was getting like the last CD. I only remember the last CD I bought from him bootlegged before bootleg CDs just weren't a thing anymore. And it was Port of Miami by Rick Ross.
For sure.
which is still a solid listen.
The last bootleg CD I bought was Mike Jones. Who is Mike Jones? Screwed and Chopped.
Oh wow!
I still have it.
I always hated the Screwed and Chopped stuff.
Yeah, you used to be able to go and get like remix shit and movies.
I got it at like the Pine Hills Plaza there at Classic Weekend.
I bought The Sopranos, the whole entire everything.
Where do you want to put them, Tom?
Let's do Wednesday 2.
All right, so 16.
Okay, perfect.
All right. I think Eric's microphone is working now.
Yeah, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There he is.
Mr. Van, would you like to start?
Yep.
Here we go. In 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We've got Chef Pat and Eric here from Hollerbach's German Restaurant. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Good to see you, man. What's up? What's up?
So let's talk Knights Hall, because reading more about this is a super cool thing that someone could do
It just
for an
sounds
event.
cool. Knights Hall,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Like I want to be a knight in a hall.
We should do something like this.
We should.
Where we get, some BDMs together, or like,
Pat's already been,
yeah.
saying, hey, we can do it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So, Chef Pat, tell us about this.
Honestly, we were so busy up there with the holidays, with staff parties and family get-togethers. It's a fully like medieval experience type room. There's different levels. Like you can get it without service with just like catering packages. So you could just go have a meeting. Like a lot of the morning time is just offices, lawyers groups, and engineer firm had a meeting, and they just come to get out of the office and have some snacks and have their meeting in a table that seats 30.
So let's
You get a table like
but I've
You got to
been,
know a guy.
Yeah.
I've been at this table before
You've
for a
seen it.
meeting, and it's it's above Hollerbach's German restaurant, and it's a gigantic, long, like Knights mega table,
yeah.
and it seats 30 people, right?
Yeah, 30 for a meeting. Like if you're eating 26 comfortably, I think.
And so you
That's
could.
so
I still want to do a Beauty and the Beast dinner with just 2 people, one at each end.
Yes, dude.
And so
Tom
even
and
just
Dan.
even just for like Hollerbach's photographs, or something, that'd be kind of cool.
We've had a couple really cool photo shoots in there so far. We've got some night friends, like reenactment dudes, that we're gonna do a like real night photo shoot in there with.
Oh,
so.
right on.
But if you had like a birthday celebration or a gigantic anniversary celebration, whatever celebration,
family
you
celebration would
rent
be
it out,
perfect.
and then
For sure. My cousin had his wedding. What do you call it? The day before the wedding. What are those things?
Oh, they
rehearsal
dinner.
dinner.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I'm not fancy. I don't
I've
know.
never really understood that. We had a rehearsal
didn't
dinner
have
too,
one of
and I
those.
was just like, why are we doing this?
Oh, I had my rehearsal dinner at Tony Romo's.
Yeah.
Hold on. I thought that's where you take people to get
Hold on.
fired.
Did you say Tony Romo?
I like
I didn't
Tony.
know.
I like Tony Romo's. You never been to Tony Romo's?
No, went to
Hey,
Tony Romo's.
Ribs. They're what's for dinner.
We're,
Are those
we're
still
getting married
around?
tomorrow, but I'm sorry. I got to let you go tonight.
No, that's Sam Sneed's.
Oh,
When you
sorry,
get,
Sam
yeah,
Sneed's.
if you're a
Yes.
radio guy around
This-
here and you go to get fired, it's Sam Sneed's. But
this
Tony,
is in Miami 15 years ago.
yeah, I think
or
it's a
more, I
Miami
don't know.
chain. Tony Romo's. I remember Ed Till when I used to work for him. That's the first place I went to him when he started telling me about all the jobs I was going to do as his producer, including buying him weed.
So and you could like obviously get a full dinner as a part of this, or
For sure.
you can basically do whatever
I
you
mean,
want.
the top tier is me custom making whatever you want, like fully included with like beer and wine and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Like really whatever you want. I get bored of German food.
Yeah, is that something where almost like a wedding where the people can come to you and say like, hey, I kind of want this? Is it like fully customizable, or do you have a
with-
set amount of...
Honestly, from my experience, people don't know what they want, so I tell them what they want, and I'm pretty good at telling people what
That's
they want.
awesome.
So.
Yeah. So you're going to get a nice, curated, awesome meal. Oh, man, we should do this.
It would be a super cool thing to do with like 28 people, and we'd have a feast.
Yeah, a
Or we-
feast. We never had a
start the-
feast. Start the
start the feast.
feast. Where's my flute?
Yeah.
I know my chef de cuisine really wants to smoke a whole alligator and put it in the middle of the table.
So
so.
smoked alligator
Oh.
feast.
That would be kind of badass.
I have never had smoked alligator, but I've had alligator bites, and they're pretty good.
Would you put an orange in the mouth instead of an apple?
Right?
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
you
I
put
like
a pig
that.
in the mouth.
And you put
You
the
know what?
orange in the
That's-
pig's mouth. That's what you do.
Oh, so smoked alligator with a
With
smoked pig in its
inside
mouth.
alligator's mouth, and then orange inside pig's mouth to know Florida.
Yeah.
These BDMs are gonna do this too. Get ready for that one, Pat.
And then a novelty Confederate hat on the gator.
Yeah.
But it's blue. It's fine. It's blue. Nobody
You
freak
blur
out.
out the patch, it's fine.
Yeah. There's no patches. Just unhook the patch.
So, what else is going on with Hollerbach?
Yeah. How's Uber Keller going?
Yeah.
Uber Keller's doing great. Also busy for the holiday season. We're having a meeting about that soon to see what are we going to do with that. I think we're going to slow it down over the summer. It's slower months and it's kind of hot outside. Nobody sits up in the beer garden.
Also, we got you to revamp the menu too a little bit coming
For
up.
sure.
So add a few new dishes, stuff like that. I think it should be
Nice.
awesome.
But we do have Chef's Night coming up on Valentine's Day in Knights Hall. And that's going to be it's going to be an Italian themed amore, but a love themed kind of dinner.
Okay.
Eric, ticket links up already?
Yeah, actually, I just put it up this morning. It's actually kind of an awesome way to like experience the Knights Hall if you don't have a group of like 26 people. You could just buy 2, 4 tickets, whatever, and you can kind of get Chef Pat, at his finest there, making you some amazing food.
Okay, so people can book this for Valentine's Day.
For sure. It just happened to fall on Valentine's Day. We knew we were going to
That's
do it
cool.
in February, and it's always on a Wednesday. So it just happened to work that way. And I like gimmicks. So
Hey, how do people book it
Yeah.
if they want?
It's on the website now, hollerbox.com. Just put it
Okay.
out this morning.
Beautiful.
Get the first
And
tickets.
how many seats are there for this?
26.
26. So,
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
that's extremely limited.
Maybe
Yeah.
25.
25 because my wife's got to come.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah. 25,
all right.
yeah.
So there's
sure.
only 25 seats for this. That sounds awesome. And how many courses is this?
I think I'm shooting for 6 or 7 this time.
Jeez Louise.
I
dude.
it's
Do
we,
you al- have
we
you
always
already-
bill 3 or 4, but I overachieve.
Have you already figured out the menu and what you want to do? or-
Yeah.
All right.
I think
all
I know the menu. Just how I'm going to do it's the next step.
right. Okay, gotcha.
It's a whole gimmick. It's out there. It's weird, but
No, I like it, though.
I'm out there and weird too. So
How long does it take you to put together like a menu like this? Do you have to, and how early do you have to start sourcing like proteins and veggies? And that's the stuff that's the number one reason why I could never work in food service is the idea of having to order and get all the stuff and get it on time.
So we've got good relationships
Freaks
and
me
good
out.
vendors, and kind of just know, when we got to order stuff to get it when we need it. So just as long as you know what you're going to have, a good week beforehand usually is enough time to make sure that you're going to get something, unless it's like really, really obscure.
Nice.
Chef Pat, let me ask you a question as a chef, because I could imagine if I was a chef, let's say I'm working back there in the kitchen. I've seen the bear, so I know what is going on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm
The
doing the
chef.
thing. I'm doing the chef thing. I'm cutting.
Yeah.
I'm
And
yelling.
you're on drugs.
Yeah, I'm on
You're on
drugs. Oh,
drugs.
yeah,
Yes,
definitely on
chef.
drugs.
And I'm Maddie
Yeah.
Matheson, and I'm fat and on drugs.
So I'm screaming,
chef.
yes, chef, at everybody and doing my thing. And then someone comes back, like a waitress, and says, like, I'm sorry, chef. The table
risotto,
two,
yeah.
table 2 says they don't like the taste of
This
my
risotto is
risotto,
yeah,
whatever.
it's rotten.
And then I would personally be offended because I'm like, well, they don't know what it's supposed to taste like.
But
I
you're
cooked
not
it.
emotional.
Right.
Huh?
I thought you weren't emotional.
No.
I'd be like, I'm gonna go out there and yell at them or shove it in their face.
Well, not emotional, but also I'm like, well, you don't know what the hell. You're
I'm
not
the
a chef.
chef.
You're eating. You're an eater. Like I'm the. I know more than you do.
Somebody has asked me before, like, how do you know? I'm like, because I'm the chef, and I've been the chef
Yes,
for
here I am.
18
But
years.
do you
Like,
have to carry a chef card? I feel like you should, because if I say, like, who's the chef here? And you walk out, I'm like, show me your chef
usually my
card.
pants
I
are
need
my
a-
chef card.
I need a card. I need a, it should
Yeah.
say
The
chef.
Zubas.
Exactly, the pinstripe Zubas.
Stripes.
Yeah. That's
I had a
right.
guy wave me down yesterday. He just knew I was the chef because I was walking across a restaurant. Hoodie and slides with my bag on. I had just gotten there, but I had my chef pants on, so
Yeah.
he knew I was a chef. So he waved me over to bitch about his food.
The
How come we can't change the chef pant look?
Okay, I gotta.
I don't
Because,
wanna-
like,
I
there's
don't
so
wanna
many
change
different
it.
varieties
How
of
dare you.
scrubs,
I forgot
you
to
know?
tell you
No.
guys this, and
It's
and
each chef's gimmick.
this one hurts my heart because I
Let's do
hate
polka dots.
I hate telling Tommy's
there.
right. I hate telling Tommy's right. There's nothing I hate more than telling Tommy's right. But my loving wife went ahead and bought me a pair of joggers, a pair of Atlanta Braves. I mean, it ties
Yeah.
into this whole segment.
Okay.
They're Atlanta Braves joggers. They're the pinstripe ones I wanted with the Atlanta Braves patches all over them.
Yeah.
And I wore them to an event with some friends.
Okay.
And all of the friends Dan Thompson. I'll call him out.
All right.
Dan Thompson and his entire family made fun of me and said I was wearing chef pants.
You know?
You were
Is it-
right.
is it navy
You were
blue with
right.
the white
I cannot
pinstripes?
pull them. They're the ones with the white pinstripes. You were right. I cannot pull them off. I now only wear them at home with my pee-pee dog in my purse.
Do it to make soup.
No, I can't wear. I couldn't pull them off. They made fun of me. Drove all the way to iDrive to meet him at Joe's Crab Shack, and we went out there. They're like, "Oh, podcast must not be doing good. Where are you working at?" And I'm like, "What do you mean where I'm working at? These are Atlanta Braves.
Got a
These
job
are
flipping
these
schnitzels
are
at
the-
Hollerbach.
These are the hippest pants ever." And I guess with my pants on and my bag, I sort of look like one of Pat's minions in the back. I look like I'm back there chopping the white asparagus.
It is kind of odd that chefs adopted the Zubaz pants.
Yeah.
Because you would think.
Now I can't even wear regular new era brand Atlanta Falcons joggers without people going, "Oh, look, Dan's a chef."
Like,
Tiniest chef.
I understand the comfort of it, but from watching The Bear, it's constant work and fire and grease.
That's why you
like-
need comfortable pants and shoes to
It's
wear.
gross. It's gross, right? There's a lot of gross. There's a lot of heat.
It's greasy. You
Grease,
just
yeah.
feel your arms are greasy when you come home.
But like a cowboy wears chaps because to protect his legs from the brush of, like, you know what I'm saying? That's what
And he knows
No,
that
it's-
from
so
Yellowstone.
his ass can feel the saddle. We all know that.
No, I'm saying your legs are constantly getting hit by desert brush and
Yeah.
prickly pines and stuff. So you're wearing thick.
I am starting to question
chaps.
all of your cowboy knowledge. Prickly pines.
Goddamn
You
prickly
know about
pines.
the prickly pines.
No, so, but the you would think a chef would adopt some sort of leather top.
No, that's
maybe an
blacksmith.
apron.
No, that's
An
blacksmith.
apron.
No, that's
Oh, it's the
blacksmith. That's
apron.
Because
blacksmith.
the apron goes down like bistro aprons go all the way down to almost your ankles, but like aprons go
What are
past your
astro
knees.
aprons?
Bistro. Oh,
okay.
astro. I got you.
So the apron is obviously
not there, Dan.
protection. So you just want to wear comfortable pants to get around.
And then they don't wear Crocs. They wear like the real ones that look like Crocs, but they're more like
Birkenstock.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's more formed.
They're
like
called
Crocs.
super Birkies.
Are they?
Yeah.
Super
Doctors and nurses and chefs.
And then they have the stamped like flower patterns on them if you're a woman.
Okay.
You get a weed pattern
And
on
there's
your
a little, and
Crocs.
sometimes you can get a chunky heel on the end of it. I've seen some with a chunky heel.
Not for the kitchen though. They do have the European, the Dansko clogs that are the big wooden heel. Linda Hollerbach used to wear those.
Okay.
They're like European chefs
Real
wear
style.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even dudes wear those over there.
Old world. I like that.
Chef Pat, is there any like dish that is regarded as one of the hardest German dishes to cook?
I was gonna say fugu because I want to eat that. I want to eat that fish that you eat it, and if it's not prepared correctly, you choke and die.
Oh,
Roll
at
the dice,
table.
baby.
On
Roll
the
the
Simpsons,
dice.
Yeah, at the table.
So is there anything like that you could tell us about that's considered like this is the hardest to pull off?
Like in general, or like that we do?
Yeah, just like not even that you do, because I imagine at a restaurant you're not, having a dish that's like
Super hard to make.
super hard to make and
yeah,
rare,
you're
time-consuming.
source
You're
or
also
something.
setting yourself up for success. You want to
So
turn
you got
over
to
the
think a
favorite.
lot of your aged stuff is going to be your hard stuff because it's time and temperature controlled, like your prosciutto or your salamis or a lot of your cured meats and sausages and stuff like that. Because if your pH level's off, or if your temperature's off, or your moisture level's off, it's going to create bad mold or bad bacteria.
I hear
that's going to
women
make
talk
your
about
stuff
their
go bad.
pH levels being off.
It's,
And I'm
it's
like,
kind of the
and
same.
I'm like, keep that in your mouth. I don't need to hear that. I could probably have a pH too. No one will ever hear about it. It's my pH. It's my pH too.
Is there a testing strip?
Yeah, you can put it. You go. It's called a litmus.
There's
and
litmus strips.
and
Yeah.
and then you go, what? Pink COVID.
Now let me ask you another chef question. So in the Bear,
I thought you knew everything about being a chef.
Because
From
he
the
watched
bear.
the bear. He's confirming his knowledge
Yes,
from
chef.
the bear.
sometimes your other chef minions that are around the
They're out smoking.
they're out there smoking. But
behind the hot beef.
We don't allow that at work, so
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're smoke free.
It would be hard for me to run a restaurant with people that smoke. I'd have to have a no smoking policy. Yeah.
Well,
None of my workers.
I'm sorry.
I pay you to work, not smoke.
Yeah.
You cannot find
I
workers
know,
in Florida.
That's why I don't open a restaurant.
But so I've seen in the Bear that some of the other chefs will come to the head chef, or would be Chef Pat, and say, I've created a new creation.
Sir, I have a dish.
And then you taste it.
One taste.
And
You do the meat taste. You in,
Ew,
spoon in. You go
gross.
spoon in, you taste it, and he's watching your eyes to see what you think.
Yeah. How often does that happen?
Weekly?
Oh, really? That
Yeah,
happens?
for sure.
Okay.
Like we're sitting up in the office, and one of my sous chefs will come up with. It's usually like soup or something like that, but they'll come up with the soup to make sure seasoning's right or whatever.
I call this spaghetti.
My chef de cuisine comes up with a lot of the stuff for the Uber Keller as a collaboration, and so he'll come up with a dish.
And then you take credit for it, right? Because you're the chef.
Hell yeah, you know how it works.
No, that's the way it's supposed to work, I think. Because that person will work his way up the ranks.
I slid right into Theo's crazy pants and shoes gimmick. Now that's me, and now I take all the credit. No, I try I bring my guys out like
You're
I try
a regular Steve Harvey of the
Yeah.
kitchen.
Hold on now.
That's pretty good.
So what if it's bad? How do you tell them?
That's a
because
good question.
That's well, I have a
Chef
problem
Patrick
with.
uses so much tact with his critiques. So.
if I think it needs something, I tell them what I think it needs. Like this needs acid, this needs salt, this is too whatever. This needs some crunch
Do
on
you
it.
cook with MSG?
Hell yeah.
We gotta talk about MSG.
yes.
By the way, you said acid, and Tom thought you meant acid.
No, I just wondered
No,
how
that's just the CBDs.
how you tell like this needs acid.
You taste it.
My palate's not that sophisticated
Yeah,
to
yeah.
know.
It's part of the whole umami thing, you know.
Yeah.
My whole palate is milk, hot sauce, doo-doo. That's the
I
only
saw a
thing-
koozie this morning that said, "My body takes hot dogs and makes them into hot logs," and I'm like, I'll never see anything better than that.
Like I
That's-
was just saying, that's the only things I can taste. If someone gives me something, I'm like, oh,
milk.
milky.
I'm like, here, taste this. Spicy.
Yeah, spicy.
And then you're like,
yeah. Then
And
I'm
that's
like,
it.
oh, dude.
here it comes.
So, sorry, I forgot my
MSG.
name. Oh,
Yeah,
MSG. So
We were talking about MSG yesterday.
Yeah.
I was telling the guys about how I don't think it's really bad anymore. You can buy it at Publix. It's called Accent, I think is what the professional name, the brand.
I get it at the Asian market, so I can't pronounce the name. I don't know.
And what does it do? Because I thought it was a byproduct.
Flavor enhancer.
Makes it gooder.
Okay, so it enhances the
Flavor.
which flavors?
So it gives it a little saltiness.
Okay.
and
Somebody told me this, and you tell me
savoriness.
that this is correct. Somebody that it was online, and I was reading what they said. They said, think of it like a spectrum, and I know you love spectrum.
Uh-huh.
It's a broader spectrum of salt flavor.
Sure.
Because the
Okay.
chemist that made it, and I read this on Wikipedia, apparently was isolating certain things. I won't go into the real, the structure of the molecules or anything. But he figured out a way to get this. It's like Sam said. It's a variation of salt, I guess, that's broader, that kind of fills in flavor
okay.
spaces.
More
And,
salt for everything.
yeah, it connects things. Like the way they describe it is like
It's very molecular, honestly, like how it works. But yeah, it's another layer of salt, if you will, that just it fills out the flavor of your dish. I think.
Okay. Is it come in a powder form or
Yeah.
salt form? Or it's
Yeah,
powder.
it's
Like
like
salt.
powder salt. Yeah.
It's like salt. You can literally walk over there. It's a little bottle, and it says Accent, and it says flavor enhancer. That's all it says.
Do people buy MSG for their homes? Like
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the time.
Eric
I-
uses
Yeah.
uses MSG all the time. I
Yeah,
know.
but in the 80s and 90s,
I'm gonna start doing it
got
now.
villainized for being like really bad for you or
I don't want
something.
no
I
goddamn
don't-
MSG in my food.
We could probably deep dive
I
into it.
did
and-
yesterday.
Did you? Oh,
yeah.
Did you get into
Yeah,
it?
it was like a racist thing.
Oh,
Is
Yeah.
that racist?
Yeah, a guy like wrote an article about how bad it was for you, and then it got debunked. But the myth like
tastes
kept
amazing.
living. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've always heard, oh, this has got a lot of MSG, and I'm like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah, well, people were
Because
saying
I don't
that.
know what
and
I'm stupid.
remember when you would go to? I mean, you guys probably don't. I'm 47, but I remember as a child going to pick up Chinese food with my mom and dad, and there would be a sign in the window, neon. Somebody bought this that said no MSG.
For sure.
In the
That was a test
Window.
question on our server test. So I don't know what other restaurants do because I only know Hollerbach.
Yeah, neon sign, dude.
But in our test for a long time, because it was such a prevalent question, does our food contain MSG? The answer is no. We don't at the restaurant. Personally, I use it, but we don't at the restaurant because of that. But yeah, it was a real thing like back in the day. Like,
And
so
but can't we dispel that? Can't we tell like MSG is fine?
doesn't matter.
Doesn't
People
matter
don't
if it's-
listen.
A lot of like newer.
Listen.
Okay, here's what I find. A lot of my friends that run, and you probably know way more about this, but a lot of my friends that are Asian and are chefs, are
Oh.
trying to do their best to dispel.
Yes.
Like
There's like a whole campaign
they're
now
kind of like
to reverse.
like this
yeah.
was ruined. It's in moderation, just like everything. It
Uncle
is
Roger's done
absolutely
great
fine.
for it.
Yeah, he's so good, right?
For sure.
Do you know Uncle Roger, influencer,
Orange polo shirt.
chef, orange polo shirt,
Okay,
Asian
oh,
guy.
yeah.
Hates
see
Jamie
that.
Oliver.
Yeah, yeah. Hates Jamie Oliver. Yeah, yeah.
Well, Chef Pat Eric, again, if you want to book the Valentine's Day
That sounds
event
amazing.
or
Go ahead
just
and do it
Knights
now.
Hall in general.
Do it now. Get the Knights Hall dinner Valentine's Day deal. While we're saying it, don't wait because it'll be gone.
And there's
Yeah.
there's drinks with every course too, by the way. So
Yeah, and just do it now and set that Valentine's Day away. Get it done now so you won't be like me where I'll be scrambling out at Walgreens to,
Yep.
find a gift bag of different nail polishes.
Hollebox.com, of course, Hollebox German Restaurant in Sanford.
The best.
Chef Pat Eric, thanks so much for coming
Thank you
by.
guys. Good
Thanks,
seeing
guys.
you.
We will see you in a minute.
Awesome. Still on the cameras. Good job, y'all.
good questions.
Perfect.
Well, I'm glad we wandered into MSG.
Yeah,
land,
we were
too.
talking about that yesterday.
I wrote it down to remember to
It's,
talk
it's
about.
so funny that
You should buy some and put it on a. If you take a regular chicken breast, no shit, and you use like salt and pepper, and then grill that one, and then
Why do
salt and
people
pepper
think
and
it was
MSG and
bad,
grill
though?
that one. The grilled
Is
one.
it just as bad as you have salt? You
I
know?
really don't know. I was
Actually,
always
it does give me a headache if I use too much, just like if I use too much salt. So
Yeah,
that's probably where that comes from.
it's
Anything
the
in moderation.
the headache thing.
Yeah, but if you don't have high blood pressure, salt isn't even bad for you. Like, you can have as much salt as you want if that doesn't affect you.
Fine.
Where's that go, Sam?
That is Wednesday
I
2.
think I drink enough water.
That happens too.
All right, we'll come back and we'll do the final
Yeah,
four
thank you
segments.
for getting us in.
Okay. We only need 7 minutes for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just come back and do something fast.
Okay, great.
And then we may even have time for
Good to see you, my man. Eric, always a pleasure. Thanks for the update yesterday. It's always nice to have that stuff on
Good
file,
seeing
man.
you.
Good seeing you guys.
I'll hit you up for them. I know. I was like, those shoes.
Get them shows.
Come get them shoes.
You want to look at them?
Yeah.
I'll you want me to bring them in real quick?
Doing a shoe deal.
Oh, we should do it on the show.
Yeah, let's do it on the show. You got time?
I don't want to.
You got
Oh,
time?
then it's extra awkward.
Yeah.
Tom was the one that taught me how to
Okay.
buy things in Deltona of like spreading like the money on the hood of the car.
Yeah. Oh no,
Well, that's embarrassing.
I'll broker this deal for you, Sam. We'll look at him. I'll be like, no,
Don't do that. Lord knows. It was a
this
mess
a-
with the dog.
Yeah,
now.
is this a hold on a second, is this the dog versus Amco? is this the third time the charm? Amco, dog.
Toughies.
Oh yeah, Toughies. Oh sorry, not Amco. Toughies, then Judy, and now Pat. Do they have a schnitzel sandwich?
I think they do.
I want a schnitzel sandwich. I thought about making, this is true, over the weekend. I was like, oh man, I'd love a schnitzel. I'll make my own. And I was like, no, it won't. Hollerbach is
What?
down the road. Why would I do that? That's dumb.
It's
Pounded flat pork.
Okay.
Cutlet.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you dredge it in flour and then you lightly pan fry it. But
Okay.
I was like, I even laughed with Andrew. I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to drive down the road. Stupid.
No, it doesn't. I don't think they do actually. I'm on their menu. Sorry, I'm holding up the show.
No, it's fine.
You're
man.
fine.
This is
this is
good.
important business.
Actually, we only need 7 minutes, so I
Yeah.
guess.
It's fine. This might be perfect. Tracy, you always get a pork schnitzel? Yeah, me too.
I can't rock these.
Those are fucking rad, though, dude.
I was so hoping they were my size, and I was.
I
so
can't rock
pissed
those
when I
either,
went.
but they're amazing.
I mean, they're badass.
They are
but
badass.
And they're like baseball trainers, so they're like not even like Jordan. So
You
it's
you would
extra
look good in
light.
those, dude. Especially as much as you
He's
rock
like, yeah, rub it in. That I can't.
straight
fit.
baseball
I
hats.
spent an hour in my car, fucking hot-eared, waiting to just even say anything about them. I was so mad. 'Cause the
Oh,
girl- I paid cash too. Like as I gave the girl my cash, she was putting it in the register. I had bought another pair. It was in the clearance bin.
yeah.
I grabbed them both, picked them up, and I saw how much smaller they were.
Oh.
Because only one had the sticker on the bottom. So like when I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, those are fucking brand new. Let me get them. So they're on the counter, just already rung up. Like I said, paid cash for it. And I'm like, bro, you said these were 11. When I came in, you even like, oh, the size 11s, right? That was you. Like these are size 8. She's like, yeah, there's nothing I can do. I'm like, no, you can just give me that $45 cash that I just gave you. You can just give me that back right out of the register. She's like, best I can do is give you store credit. So I just left mad.
What?
I was so mad.
Can
Probably-
you sell them online? You probably
Oh,
yeah.
without a
I think,
doubt,
yeah,
dude.
for sure. But like,
I'm on so many blogs for people
so
selling
lazy,
sneakers. It's
though. I'm so
disgusting.
Yeah.
It is a hassle.
It is a pain in the ass. You got to be dedicated to it. That's why I admire you and Crystal when you do sell stuff from your house. I'm always like, I wish I liked human beings enough to have them come to my
I do
house
it
and
out
look
of
at
the
stuff.
restaurant.
What's that?
I get shoes out of the restaurant.
Oh, I bet.
Like or jerseys or anything like marketplace. Hey, come to the restaurant. If you deliver it to me, I'll buy you lunch or something.
yeah. I mean, it's really.
Lowball them and offer lunch.
It doesn't matter.
You just put up this for
I know.
sale, and then someone messages you like, "I'll buy that," and you're like, "All right, come pick it up," and then you're like,
Tom a long time ago.
It's
I give
because
my
my
cell
brain
phone-
is rotten.
Yeah,
It's because
yeah.
my brain is rotten. All right.
It's never that easy, Tom.
"Well,
Have a good day, y'all.
yeah.
It's like a hassle with people trying to haggle you with price, and then they're fucking up your day because they're like, oh, I'll be there in 30 minutes, and then they don't show up, and then they're like, oh, I'll be there in an hour. No, I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
If you
I'll just donate it.
if you have an open mind to whatever happens, then
That's a
Oh.
good way to be.
That is not how I live.
But that is a good way to be. I adopted that. I've only adopted that successfully a couple of times in my life. I did it on the way home from Dominican Republic when we were having all these horrible flight delays and everything.
Yeah.
And I literally gave up, and it was great. I had a great time.
Yeah. If there's
It's
nothing
hard
you
for
could
me.
do,
It's hard for me to achieve that. It's hard for me to get there, you know.
yeah.
But if you can get there and not care about it and just be like, all right, buddy, 7 minutes. Do we know what we're doing here? I've got a ton of new voicemails.
Yeah, we only probably need to do one.
One.
voicemail.
All right, let me get those. How's your watch doing?
Oh, you remembered it today.
I got to get a new watch, man.
No, well, it's funny. I went to drop off my sons at school today, and then
Did you comb their hair?
I did, and it was horrible because Crystal went to go work out early, so I was in charge of the combing again. And then I brushed, but this time I was brushing Max's hair, and then I'm like, and Max's like, "Is this good?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. Is it good? Is it good for you? Like,
Oh,
it's your
no.
hair.
Never say that.
It didn't look good.
You don't comb in the guy like, what do you think?
Yeah, but he doesn't even know. And then both my sons like, I don't know what it's supposed to look like. I'm like, how do you not know? And I'm like, oh God.
But they know if it looks bad. But they know if it looks bad.
No, they don't know anything. They were just like, is this what it's supposed to be? I'm
Oh,
like,
well,
well, how
then
do you
just
not
leave
know?
Then just leave it alone.
How does mom
just say
do it?
yes. Move
yeah,
on.
I would say
Yeah.
I would leave it alone.
Yeah, but then I saw him walking into school.
And you're like, whoa.
Yeah. The part was too over the side. Like I did it like I
But
do
you
mine.
do yours like that.
And then I'm like, oh God.
Well, my hair looks pretty good today, right? People have been saying we all had good hair yesterday. We got the good hair award yesterday. Everybody said, hey, everybody's hair looks great. All right, 7 minutes. I have a couple of voicemails. Here we go. In 3. I'll bring us back. 3, 2. Welcome back to a corporate time. Couple of voicemails?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Addressing the idea or concept of Roblox.
Yo, it's the Berry Joe. I don't know if it's the magnet pulling or what, but I'm just watching some YouTube, and I just got an ad for a Roblox channel. Like, what the? For Kroger. A Kroger Roblox channel.
I'll pause you right there. Yeah, Roblox has sponsored channels. In fact, there's an iHeart channel. There's an iHeart Media channel.
Yeah, because
Maisie was in there one day throwing snowballs. It was a Christmas iHeart Media Christmas-themed Roblox channel, and her character was running through there throwing snowballs. It was all brought to you by iHeart Radio.
Yeah, of course, the corporations have figured out that there's a way to market themselves inside of Roblox because all the game is essentially user-created games this is open source. So all the games everybody plays are created by whoever, and then it just curates the most popular ones for everybody to play. So if iHeart or any big companies, they can make their own, they pay a designer, make their own game, add their branding
We can
in
do
there.
it. I mean, we talked to SJ about it, but he
Yeah.
said that some of even the software is a little bit like, they lock almost everything down. There's very little, tomfoolery there. They know what they're doing.
Um,
Wish I'd bought into Roblox early, man. I see those gift cards flying off the shelves. I
Oh,
see
yeah.
those mom groups. Andrea will tell me about mom groups with Roblox where they'll all get in there and the mom groups will be like, hey, don't forget this Tuesday, Target has Roblox gift cards on sale, half off. So it means you're getting double the money for them.
yeah, yeah.
And then all the moms run out there and they buy it's crazy.
You know how mad I am when with the boys want those gift cards and then to buy a digital shirt or whatever it is.
Oh, I know.
Like I'm just like, oh God, it's such a waste.
Would you rather them, okay, let's talk about this. Would you rather them, if you give Max and Tommy a $10 Roblox, they put the code in there, they get their digital fake money, right?
Yeah.
Would you rather them spend it till they have nothing left? Or would you rather them do what Maisie does, continuing the, like she's a old woman.
She saves it in
doesn't
the
spend
bank.
a dime. Doesn't spend a dime. She got like $40 of Roblox gift cards. She spent maybe $2.
She's saving it.
Yeah, she's like, I bought a horse for my. She plays this thing called Brookhaven. Do the boys play Brookhaven?
I don't know.
There's this one called Brookhaven. It's like a digital. It's like a digital city.
Okay.
And she bought a house or a horse, not a house, a
Okay.
horse. She's like, I bought a horse. That's all she's bought. $40. Yeah, like $38 left, just sitting there.
They spend it all immediately.
That's what I did.
And I try to tell them, I'm like, save.
For what? It's digital. I'm with them. Spend it all. It's not even real.
They're like, I have a full tuxedo. I'm just like, what is
top
that?
hat.
A digital tuxedo
Yeah.
is nothing.
No, it's better than saving it.
But
It's better than saving it. At least they're getting enjoyment out of it. What Maisie did is she put $40 into her iPad. She spent $2 of it. Now she's saving her money for what? For digital college? She's not going to go to digital college.
Can you somehow convert Roblox to anything else?
I don't think so.
Like, can you sell it online? I'm sure you could for
Your character?
Or like, or you just sell it to someone else and transfer. Can you transfer
The
one
card?
to another?
I don't know.
Like internally?
Probably.
Yeah. 'Cause
Something like that.
I'm sure someone's probably figured out a way to like hack, the system to get that, or it's probably locked down.
At this
right?
point, I kind of feel like everything has been hacked. There was a question. Let me see if I have it in here. There was a question about a gamer. A gamer called into our show, and he actually asked us one time. He was like, "What do you guys feel like? What is your opinion, rather, on?" It was namely for me, but he was like, "What is the show's opinion about if you're playing games online and you realize that the person you're playing against is cheating or like glitching or using like a cheat in order to beat you?"
Yeah.
It has never bothered me because I don't traditionally competitively game online. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. I'll just find another lobby or a room that has somebody that's not cheating. I'll just play there. I've always been that type of guy. I've never been a throw your controller guy. I've never been which is weird because I get mad.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I just see it as part of the process. I do have a temper, and you would think out of the three of us, I'm definitely going to be the one winging a controller.
That's my brother.
I have never thrown a controller.
I got a controller to the head multiple times.
Whoa!
Over
No,
Smash Bros.
I have never thrown or destroyed a controller.
Well,
not that I know of.
It's not like you to destroy any of your stuff anyway. So you're not going to start smashing your,
But
your
I want
controller.
to. Maybe I want to.
My old roommate in college, the one that lived in the spare bedroom with the Pudge and the Grizz, and then we had that one random.
Yeah.
He used to punch holes in his wall because of video games, and we used to hear him scream, and then we hear go. And then we broke into his room once he moved out because they lock it up because each room you pay for or whatever. And then there was a myriad of holes that he punched in the wall. And I was like, this guy's
You gotta
nuts.
get some help, man.
There's something about that. Like when Andrea's roommates left her place and she was still in there, I went in all their rooms after they'd moved out. It wasn't locked, but there was something weird about wanting to go in the room and be like, I wonder what happened in here. I'm big on that. I'm big on rooms that... if I'm not supposed to be there, if it's like, hey, it's against the law, don't go in there, I'm not going to go in there. But these are wide open rooms. It didn't
They
matter.
just wander in there.
But I'm big on that. If somebody said like, hey, you want to go stand in my bedroom and just got to look around, I'd be like, yeah, I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to look at everybody's bedroom. I want to look at everybody's rooms. I want to look in their closets.
There's usually not much
there
interesting.
Is. Yeah,
in
there
there.
is. Maybe not for you, but I can see little details of just awesome stuff everywhere.
I feel awkward going into people's bedrooms. Like when we went into y'all's bedrooms for the cribs, I was like, I don't
You
feel
didn't
like I
like
should
that?
be here.
Oh my God.
When you do tours of your house, do you include your bedroom?
I don't.
No.
That's like the only
That's
place
actually
I don't.
That's an
bring people
interesting
in.
question, dude. Yeah, we do.
Yeah. I thought that like when you're doing a tour, you do every room.
Yeah.
Actually, you don't like. Usually, you don't include like any guest room because you include the main.
Yeah, the
bedroom.
the main
or-
bedroom,
I do
the main
not.
bathroom.
Man, people must think I'm a freak because if that's the norm.
One thing that
they think there's a sex swing in
yeah.
there or something.
Here is something
hanging.
that I hate though, and this is kind of mean. I don't know if this is a hot take, but you might want to like. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't like it when you go to some place like if people are moving into a new spot. I don't like it when you like go to their house to do something, and then as soon as you get there, they just assume you want a tour. Don't assume I want a tour. I will ask for the tour. If I want a tour, I'll ask you for the tour.
See, I'm the opposite. I assume nobody wants the tour
Keep the
unless
tour.
they ask.
You're right. Keep the tour in your own mind. Don't just like. It's like a celebrity. It's like I've met a celebrity before where they'll be like, and I signed an autograph for you, and they'll hand it to me, and I'm like, I didn't want that. You know what I mean? Like, don't do
Yeah.
that. Don't get ahead of yourself.
I like that.
Don't get ahead of yourself. I don't want your tour. If I do, I will ask for it, and then you will give me the tour if you want. But don't just assume I want a tour and just start leading me through your house. Don't do that.
Yeah, because you think you're like, well, how good do you think your house is if you want to just show it off all the time?
Mike FXU. Oh, I think I know who that is. Mike says in the chat room, he's had people ask him before, do you want a tour? And he's like, no.
I like
that.
that. Yeah.
I do too.
I don't know if I could be that blunt.
Well, it would be like you meeting someone and you're like, hey, do you want to see how much money I have in my bank account?
Yeah.
it was like,
Yeah.
why are you showing
but
off
people
your
do
house?
it. Oh, it's happened to me.
Why did that start? Why
It's
would-
happened to me like 6 or 7 different times where I've gone to
It
people.
must have been an old school tradition or
I
something.
think it is. I remember one of no, she didn't work for him anymore. One of Andrea's ex-bosses here in town when she worked for a TV station. That guy, as soon as we showed up, he had like one of those fancy houses, like pinball machines and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
as soon as we walked in, he's like, "Oh, great! It's just in time for the tour." And I'm like, "I don't want a tour, man. I'm just coming to the party.
Yeah.
I just want to drink a Coors Light and just like walk around and say hi to you. I do not want a tour of your home."
Usually, I thought the tours were for like closer friends and family, people you knew.
To
like,
show off your badass stuff.
Yeah, right.
That's what it's for.
But random, like people you've just met or like.
But what if you don't have badass stuff? What if you live in a s-hole?
Then you're not gonna do the tour.
Yeah.
I've been to some s-holes and got tours, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
The asshole tour?
Yes, I
Yeah,
have.
because you don't know.
They
I know this.
offer?
Especially if like
I've-
someone just moved in somewhere.
Yeah, I've done this. I've
They
done
offer
this. Yeah,
it?
I've given tours of POS houses that I've had. The old, like,
Old
rental
heroin,
places.
Heroin alley.
Yeah.
Actually, I think you may have given me a tour of that.
Yeah, because
That's
it's,
how we met.
it's what poor trashy people think
Yeah.
that fancy people do, so that you do that too. So you just do.
know you use a little
Yeah.
fork for your salad.
Yeah, and it's a quick tour.
Oh yeah, it's quick.
This is where we smoke in bed. This is the backyard.
Oh, I was gonna say, here's my smoking balcony.
Yeah, you don't have to walk very far. Anyway, all right, we will
We'll
see you tomorrow.
All right. That's funny.
That was funny.
Where's that go?
Wednesday 4.
All right.
So we could do a 20-minute for Thursday 1.
Okay.
Yep.
And then that actually leaves some time after lunch. We could.
Do you want to do the story that I talked to Andrew about it last night? The story from Reddit that I thought was so interesting about the guy,
Yeah.
the 20-year marriage guy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just a scenario.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I think I'm good enough with the story that I can rip through the details for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. This is a 20.
Yes. We'll
All
just
right.
do a 20.
You want to start?
Sure.
And this is 1.
Yep. Thursday 1.
Okay. Here we go. 3.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and as always, our producer Sam is here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Science on Tap, the Orlando Science Center Beer Fest is happening January 20th. We're all going to be out there as a show.
30 different local beers. You can save yourself some money by using our promo code.
Yeah, that's in Lock Haven Park. Our promo code's Tom and Dan 50, and that gives you $10 off your ticket. So when you purchase your tickets, use the promo code TomandDan50. You'll save some money. But if you want to come out and hang out at a great beer fest,
Yeah, man.
And it's for a good cause.
Yeah, all for the Science Center. It helps a really cool Orlando.
I think it's catching on. I'll tell you why. Drove by the Science Center when we were supposed to have some rainy weather over the weekend.
Yeah.
And the line to get into the Science Center with people carrying strollers was happening.
Yeah, if you have kids, it's a great place.
Best
to
investment
go,
you can do. I mean, at least for the first 3 years of their lives, you will be there all the time.
And then the week after that, the Orlando Solar Bears whiteout tailgate and game is happening on the 27th.
That's going to be awesome, man. We're doing a little tailgate party courtesy of Moses DeWitt and the DeWitt Law Firm. JustCallMo.com. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and
Sorry.
I know Tracy put up a Facebook event for the tailgate party, so I'm sure search Orlando Solar Bears tailgate, Mo DeWitt tailgate. You can see the exact address, and we'll send out that information.
Are we all wearing white? Like,
Yeah,
Oh,
but-
I already maybe bought a special outfit.
should I buy a special? Are we doing boys to men, river runs dry? I'm going to do.
Well, I have a
I'm
white
go-
shirt, but
I'm
no.
going to do white pants. I'm going to order it. I'm going to do white silk pants.
Oh.
I'm going to do white silk river runs dry boys to men shirt.
Oh.
Then I'm going to do the one thing, and you tell me if I can do this. This might be. It may be slightly problematic, but I wanted to do white do-rag.
Okay, all right.
Tied in the back. Right?
And,
White do-rag?
Yeah.
You can do it.
I'm going to do white pants. Maisie will not let me do that. White do-rag, she'll knock it right off my head. She will.
I like the ones with the little knot.
The knot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
you
tiny
gotta, you
knot.
gotta have the knot. Is that appropriation? Will people be like, what are you doing, man?
Not in Florida. You can do whatever
Will
you
Mo
want.
be mad if I do that?
No, only Buzz Tecker will be there cooking hot dogs.
Oh yeah,
Is he
come get a
really?
glizzy from Buzz.
Is that true? Is he got the
That's what he told me.
bus dogs?
He said free beer and hot dogs.
And a bus dog. Come get the world famous John Bus Dogger.
So, what'd you see on Reddit the other day?
There was just, I'm in this group called Am I Wrong? And I'm sure there's a ton of these type of groups on Reddit where people just are afraid to ask questions. And I can't figure out if these are people that just want attention and they write just grandiose stories, or if some of them are real, or if it's a mixture of both. But I came across one of these I started talking about with Andrea, and I was interested to see what you and Sam would say. And I think I know which way you guys would go. But here, I'll just lay it out for you.
Okay.
The title of this particular post was, Am I wrong for ending a 20-year marriage because I learned my wife cheated on me while we were dating?
All right.
All right, just based on title, I'll just throw that in this with no details. Just let that hit you. Because
Okay.
Andrea said the same, like Andrea too. I let her play this game too, and I rolled it out. I'll try to go as fast as I can. My wife, 44, and me, 43, have been married 20 years. Started dating in high school when I was a junior and she was a senior. We were long distance for the first 2 years of college while I was in high school and did 1 year at community college. Then we went to college in the same city for a year and have lived together since. We got married the summer after I graduated college. Our marriage has been pretty great so far, but I initiated a divorce after I discovered she was sleeping with multiple other men for the 2 years we were long distance. Just after Christmas, we got together with some friends of hers from college to catch up, have dinner, and hang out. We talked about the stuff. We talked about a lot of stuff my wife mentioned that we met in high school with all of our friends. Not that we dated, just that we met. Her old college roommate commented that it was crazy that we met in high school, had a few wild years in college, then ended up together. I played along and commented that I didn't know if my wife was as crazy as I was. The roommate started to tell a story, but my wife cut her off and said she was uncomfortable about it. I sensed something was up, so I said that we actually started dating in high school and were together for my wife's entire time at college. All of my wife's friends got real quiet, and the rest of the dinner was very awkward. On the way out, one of her other roommates took me aside and said I should have a, quote, honest conversation about what happened in college.
Oh my god.
So short and long is, because I don't want to read this whole thing verbatim, but basically they start driving home, from this particular gathering. He wants to know what happened. She says she's blowing him off. It's not a big deal, not a big deal. Everybody, when they're long distance, sleeps with other people and that sort of thing. I'm not going to talk about it. He initiates the divorce and then goes to his parents' house. So he says her family and I said, I asked my wife on the way home. She blew me off. The next day, she came over and admitted to sleeping with several men during the first 2 years of college. She said she didn't consider it a big deal at the time because we were long distance, and she didn't think a high school romance would last. I pressed for more details. She said it was at least 10 different men, including at least 3 guys she introduced me to when I went to visit her up there. So the whole time, basically, the short of the long here is the whole time they were doing long distance.
Yeah.
She was cheating with him on multiple occasions with bunches of different guys, and now he is 20 years down the road in a marriage with 2 children. He says that later. With 2 children.
Oh, come on, man. You got kids.
I know.
20 years have passed.
But she, the problem with it is she is kind of like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But there were multiple times that she could have let him out, right? There were multiple times that she could have told him. I think I'm a sensitive enough person to understand what he's saying, but also be conflicted enough to want to keep the relationship together. I mean, I see that it would crush me if I found out that when Andrea and I were first dating, before we were
They
married.
were in high school, man.
You
know what I mean?
Well, in this part, no, they were in college.
Right, but he was still in high school. What, was she a year older or whatever it was? It's like, come on, you're young.
I don't know, man.
20 years ago, and you got kids. I feel like.
He said a few more details. He said, because there's some pretty interesting thing he adds. He said, I obviously can't answer every question, but I'll try to get at some of the bigger pieces here. The reason I posted this is my wife and a few friends have been saying it's common to sleep with other folks when you're in a long-distance relationship, and then I'm kind of the odd one out for not sleeping around. I felt like I was being gaslit, but I wanted an outside perspective. We live in a state with a waiting period to finalize a divorce, so I felt like a reasonable idea would be to, put some time there. After these comments, I see a handful of folks saying it's normal to sleep around during a long-distance relationship, but it seems to be a significant minority. Like, I think I would be really, really hurt about it. Really, really hurt about it because, like, even if time has gone on, like, knowing that I went up there and she was, like, sleeping around, and he goes on to say that they even had a conversation about not doing any of this stuff and staying exclusive to each other.
Yeah, but the fact is, it's 20 years ago.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
no matter what, and that's what hangs me up on
Right.
it, it's that.
And if there's been no other infidelity,
Yeah.
especially when you've been married,
Right.
maybe try some counseling.
Like,
okay.
But I understand if you're an emotional person, because my wife's an emotional person. I'll tell you guys a story about first
So
let me
don't
say,
get into yourself in trouble, brother. I'll just pull these from Reddit. We got tons of them.
like, the government has a statute of limitations. I know people make fun of me because I say statute.
No, you're different.
But
You're different.
you're
doing a great job.
which if you commit certain crimes long enough ago, it dissolves. Like, it's literally not a crime anymore. So even like in crime, where if you're doing something, a robbery or whatever,
Yeah.
unless it's federal or I forgot
Sure.
what that they say, like, we even though you admit you did this and we have proof, it's been 15 years and therefore.
So you're applying that logic to
Yes,
it. I kind of like that.
What does he want?
Well, I think
He wanted a divorce.
I don't even.
Well,
no,
does he want
no.
her to feel bad for it?
Well, that's
like
the
if she would
thing.
have showed remorse and
She's not, and that's the thing.
But if she did, would he then let it go?
I think he would feel better about it. At least he says that in here. But what's I think really holding up the reconciliation or fixing anything is the fact that she is taking a very cavalier kind of everybody does this, it's not a big deal attitude when. You can only say that about yourself. You can't say that about other people, right?
Yeah,
What
it could be a big deal to him. Yeah,
absolutely.
Their main argument is it's 20 years ago.
No,
You know,
I
like,
know. I agree with you.
And it's like
It's a really weird one because I try to put myself in the perspective of it, and I go like, if I found out something, and it's hard with Andrea because she's just not that type of person. That's like the most ridiculous scenario you could ever tell me. Is like, did you know 15 years ago Andrea cheated on you? I'm like, that never happened.
You also, you are a different person after 20 years.
Yes.
Like, you have the core in
She
there,
doesn't
maybe,
seem
but
to be. She's holding fast. She's the same person.
but-
she's like, it's not a big deal.
No,
Wasn't
no.
a big deal then.
well, I feel like even it's like grading what someone said 20 years ago on today's scale. Like,
Yeah.
and I understand, like,
Eddie
yes,
Murphy's Delirious doesn't hit the same.
or it's all like people getting in trouble with stuff they tweeted 20 or I don't know 20 years ago, but 15 years
yeah,
ago,
like
whatever.
James Gunn, like 5 years ago.
But even when I look at, like, I'll see Time Hop posts about some joke I said or like something I said on Facebook or whatever, or even Twitter, and then I'll read it and I'm like, that doesn't sound like something that I would put out there. You know, I mean, and then it's weird. It's weird to me.
Yeah.
But like I'm talking like 12 years ago or something, and because
Subconsciously, you've changed.
yeah, a little micro
Yeah.
like because when I'm reading it, it reads as if I'm like I didn't write that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I did. It
Yeah, I
was
know you're-
showing
yeah.
me, and then I was like, well, that shows me that I was in a different mindset, or like that I thought something else, or this was funny, or I had this perspective, and of course it's different than it is now because my, the 20 years of experiences and who you are now is not totally different, but it is different.
Yeah.
And so to even go back, I mean, Crystal
Well, here,
does
let-
this to me. She gets back. Remember that girl in high school? And I'm like, high school? I mean, when? And then she's like, I'll be mad about it forever.
Let me.
Damn.
I read this whole thing.
So
that-
she probably would be the guy in this scenario, right? If she found out that you had cheated on her
Oh,
in
yeah.
high school, let's say.
Okay, remember the guy in this story. Remember that there was the one roommate that said, "Hey, you might want to have an honest conversation."
Yeah.
He followed up with that roommate. He said, "Based on some comments here, I followed up with a friend that said I should have an honest conversation. She told me that quote 10 guys would be on the low end." And that her biggest concern was that there was apparently at least one pregnancy scare that I didn't know about. I honestly don't think that changes much. It's less about the number for me and more about the fact that she seems incapable of recognizing why this was wrong or why I feel betrayed.
What's up with this roommate snitching on her friend?
Well, I mean, it's 20 years. Maybe she don't like her, or maybe maybe it never set well with her. Andrea had a roommate that cheated on her boyfriend that I knew about when they were dating, and I didn't like that lady because of it. That's true. They didn't end up together, but I remember I found out about her, or I saw it, and I was like, I don't like that. None of my business. I didn't get involved. But
I don't know for someone's personal situation. If there's kids involved, that's another thing too, which makes it
his
weirder.
kids are 17 and 19 though, so he says my kids are old enough to know and they will understand why I have to dissolve this marriage. I'm not saying what he's doing is right. I just thought it was very interesting because even me, I'm not sure, and you know how sensitive I am.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I would throw away 20 years of marriage. I don't know if I would.
No, I mean, for something to happen, like if Andrea cheated on you back when you first were dating and she was in college, when was that? How many years
with
ago?
the drift car driver that was.
Yeah.
What
if she said like while we were dating, I know we said we were exclusive, but I banged this dude. And
I go look him up on Facebook now and have to see what he's doing. And I'd have to compare.
What is that?
And then I'd have to compare where he is in life right now to where I am in life and see who's winning. And if I was winning.
You'd let it go?
No, I wouldn't let it go. I wouldn't let it go. It would be hard for me to let it go. But at least that would be the first step to me letting it go. I would look at him and then I'd see, is he single? If he's single, then I'd be a little more mad. If he was with a wife or something, I'd be like, okay, well, this is all right.
I'm not joking. And this
is
caused
all a weird scenario too, because like it's weird that the roommate is like following up with so much.
The
it's
whole
like, are
thing
you
is-
trying to screw
it's too
this
much.
guy? Like,
It's too much, right?
It's too much.
It's the
But
reason.
if what the roommate is saying is true, then it does sound like even like the cheating 20 years ago, it's hard to get over, right? Because you're going to think about it. But the fact that she's lying about it now, when she said 10 instead, like if it's true that she had more and there was then it's like, well, why are you still lying about it?
It's pre-marriage, too.
Right,
like,
that's what I'm
which
saying.
I
but
do-
she's still lessening the blow, right? Like if
Right.
she's gonna come clean,
Then you might as well just.
you might as well just come clean. Like
Right.
if you're gonna come clean and you had pregnancy scares, if you
Right.
had an abortion, people have those things. I'm not saying no big deal, like it's not a big deal, but that is a thing that people do.
It happens.
and it happens.
Often.
And
Yeah.
I always look at marriage like it's the legal contract that now binds you.
Now
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, and we
It's
start.
legit.
It's like when me and Maisie are
You
playing
sign
a
the
game.
mortgage.
Like when me and Maisie are playing a game, and I go, we're gonna hold our breath challenge. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now, hold on. 1, 2. Now we start.
And I know it's just a piece of paper or whatever, but if you're talking about cheating that happened before marriage, and while you guys were separated, but agreed to, I guess, not date other people or whatever, which is weird too. It's like, are you separated? Or are you just living a long distance? It was long distance, right?
Right.
And it's like,
Yeah, it was long distance, and they said
kinda
they weren't going to date other people. And another thing, I guess, that hits him hard is, and again, these are all these details that started to kind of spiderweb out. He says that they actually had a conversation before he left where she joked about, they didn't say, nothing was like a written contract, but they joked about her dad being mad if he slept around at his college. And he was like,
well, is he just bitter that he didn't get to bang in college? Is that what this is?
It could be that, right? I don't know this guy. It could be that. Maybe he feels like he missed out.
You're right. She got to go have fun in
another-
college, and I didn't.
That's another
And I
angle.
was loyal to her.
Do you feel like you missed out?
What?
I don't think you
What?
do.
I always. He's missing
He's missing out on this segment right now.
He doesn't know where he's at.
Of course, I missed out. if
You should have just punched her in the face.
If you've never eaten something, you've missed it out. You know,
Whoa, you've never
if
eaten
you,
it?
if you never had chili dog, you're like, you feel like, of
I
course
had my
have.
first chili dog over the winter break.
Was
The
it
first?
Was
Yeah.
it a bus dogger?
No, it was not a bus dogger. Is he gonna have chili dogs?
Yeah, I mean, I can make chili. I'll make hot dog sauce
All
with
right.
no beans. Hot dog sauce.
This is how
I really will do that.
this is how crazy I am. And
Oh my
this-
God, we're gonna eat chili dogs on the whiteout game. We're gonna eat chili dogs. Chili dog.
I didn't think
white-
about that.
No, chili dog whiteout party is hilarious.
It is that if Crystal told me, and like I don't even count marriage, like pre-kids, right? Like
Wait, you can cheat
Goddamn.
you can cheat all the way up to pre-kids?
No, I can't do
This
nothing.
dude's a god.
I can't even tell. I mean, if I told Crystal, like, remember, and when I was 16 and a half, 16 and a half, and
How
we
do
went
you
on that camping trip, and if I told her that, she'd be mad for. I mean, I don't even
What
know
did
how
you
long
do?
she may divorce me. What?
What did you do?
I did a lot. No, I didn't do anything.
I mean,
but I'm just saying
just
that,
the
that's
fact
crazy.
that frog pajamas, you know.
Oh yeah,
Don't
still
stop
gets her
it.
mad. But anyway, if Crystal told me, like, remember that trip I took, which before back in 2004.
Oh my God.
Or whatever.
I have no
to-
recollection of nothing.
Or like 2008, let's say, and then I took this trip, and then I, had too many drinks, and then I hooked up with this guy. And then I'd
this
be
is
like,
her,
Whoa.
right?
Whoa. I'm like, I didn't think you had it in you. Like,
Would you be proud of her a little bit, or
I-
turn
no.
you on?
I-
You're like Bubba the Love Sponge. Right?
No.
This guy's got the cameras in the bedroom.
It wouldn't be like, because
Are you the Castleberry Love Sponge? Write down Castleberry Love Sponge. I'm doing the shirts. Can I do that? Can I do that for a Castleberry Love Sponge? I'm one of your sidekicks.
I don't want it. I'm just saying that I wouldn't like necessarily, because it was so long ago. And then you're telling me,
Look,
I'm
man,
like, what does it matter?
I think what
Who
you're saying.
cares?
I think what you're saying is absolutely correct. I wish.
I'm like, does it affect anything now?
I wish I were the type of person that I could be okay with that. If Andrea came to me and said, hey, before we got together, before we were married, yes, when we were still we were trying to decide whether or not we wanted to be exclusive to each other, that drift car driver guy that I was dating at the time, yes, I know I had told you that I was a virgin when we got married, but that was a fabricate. It was not true. And I don't think it would matter right now. I think I'd be like, I'd be maybe mad, and then it would make me feel like I got one. It would make me feel like I got
get a pass.
Not necessarily a pass, because I don't want to cheat on my wife. That's ridiculous. But I mean,
You don't. I thought everybody did.
But anyway,
but I mean, you don't do it.
I can
You
buy,
just want to.
I want to buy some stuff, right?
You
I buy
can-
some crazy stuff.
Everybody wants to. You just don't do it.
Yeah.
That was it. It's
I
like
want a lot of things.
driving drunk or heroin.
Well, I do those. The heroin.
So,
I'm gonna drive drunk. That's bad.
but you're not gonna. It's too much of a pain in the ass. You're gonna take.
I'm
something,
too far down the track. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. Like
You're
at,
right.
at one
You're
point,
right.
that's the thing too about that. I'm always surprised
And
about
if
divorce.
if he's saying that the marriage is good and has been good for the whole 20 years, right?
yeah.
Yeah, well, you're okay. You're.
I don't know.
You're
in
throwing
the
away
middle.
a life you built.
I think Sam's like a nice in the middle of like she's not a robot, but she ain't gonna put up with any S,
Yeah.
but she's logical.
yeah.
Travis comes home and does in this scenario. What do you do?
Because you've been with him since high school.
Yeah.
Like, what have you said?
It's a
like
good
when
scenario.
we
Yeah.
were dating in high school.
You guys
I
are
cheated
kind
on
of the
you.
same story of if you guys had gone away, and then you came back together and things are great. Like I see you guys out and I'm like, man, like people should, aspire to be like that. So if he dropped that on you, what do you do?
I think we'd go to some counseling.
Oh,
Because-
God. That's my worst punishment.
You know what was funny is as you
You'd
were
rather
saying,
get divorced?
I'll take anything besides counseling.
as he was saying it, I'm thinking it. I'm like,
If I had to hear that, I'll be like, oh no.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. If he was like 18, 19, and he's never done it again,
no, he's
think
never done it again.
then yeah.
And you have 2 kids. 18
Yeah, I
and
think-
18 and 17 and 19.
I think we could probably work through it.
Okay.
Who are these people that like the life they built? They throw it away because of some petty emotion that they have.
Well, there's a lot of them.
you know, like that's
tons of them out there.
It's crazy to me because like
Well, it takes a beat, right? Maybe you're not. I mean, this guy seems like he is giving
The
a beat.
whole argument though that everyone cheats in a long
That's
distance
BS.
relationship is BS.
It's not true.
I mean,
that one I feel.
that's what I'm saying. Certain things that she is saying makes me think maybe she is not trustworthy. You know what I mean?
She could be trustworthy, just maybe a little cold. She could still be a wonderful wife, great mother, but just not be as emotional as him and just not
True.
see it the same way he sees it, right? Doesn't mean there are levels of, I hate to say it, but there's a spectrum of emotion, right? I don't even feel like maybe I'm as emotional as this guy. Because I don't even feel like I would be willing to I think I'm with Sam on the counseling thing. I hate to say it, but yeah.
But would counseling even work with something you did 20 years ago?
Well,
Because it's like I was a kid.
Well, no.
You know, I was a
I
high school
specifically
kid.
go to therapy for childhood trauma, so
Yeah.
it doesn't
No,
matter how long ago.
yeah.
What I mean about
It's
your
helping you process it now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. How to process your feelings.
You're not
now,
gonna.
yeah.
You can't go back. But
Yeah.
that's
Right.
what I was doing with my EMDR, basically with the death of my mom and dad, which I can totally. I'm way better on that, like light years better because of that therapy. I'm 100% for it, but it gets you to process it in a way where you can. It's digestible, right?
Yeah,
Like
I
I can
know.
talk about it now without really getting emotional or upset because I got in there and started lifting weights and being around it more.
I've been thinking about this lately because as I get older, you start looking at your life, and then and then you start looking at the end of your life.
I'm sort of obsessed with it lately.
And but just it's there, and you just see it a little clearer than you used to. It used to be gone, never saw it, and then now you're turning 42, and then it's like it's there. And so then you look at the life you built, right? It took a lot of hard work, and just a lot of. You went through a lot of things, and everybody's built their life, right? And say you built your life with your wife and kids, and then so to throw that all away and get divorced, to me, has to be a huge thing to even go through the work it takes to do that, to start separating. You built a business, let's say, like you and your spouse have built this business, and it's legally binding by the marriage.
Yeah.
And
it was successful. You have to throw
split
that in
it-
there too.
Yeah,
It wasn't just a marriage; it was a successful one. He says that in the thing. Yeah, no, I
and to
get what you're
split it,
saying.
it's so much work. It's like, don't you like at one point just be like, nah, it's fine. I'm like, I'm not gonna.
But maybe
break
he
this in
doesn't.
half.
Maybe like I think a highly emotional person that looks at that, right? And the opposite is like the way I'm kind of trying to apply it with my brain is I can feel that level of when you hear that from her and you find out it was multiple people, pregnancy scare, it wasn't what you thought. It's kind of like when plans change for me. It kind of makes me feel like I don't want to do anything now because this isn't real. You know what I mean? Like you blew it up.
Yeah,
Like it's
okay.
not what I thought. It's not. I want what I thought with the no cheating, and that's not possible
Someone
now.
in the chat brought up
So you blew it
something
up.
that's interesting. Like, what if it was drugs? What if it wasn't cheating? What if she was like a big cokehead in college and never told him?
I wouldn't care.
So it's okay.
Not in. Yeah, if Andrea told me, I can.
Yeah,
I can.
it's all emotional.
If
It's
Andrea
the
comes to
cheating
me,
is the
yeah,
emotional part.
Exactly. I'll give you the honest answer. Andrea comes to me right now and says, "Dude, I had such a coke. I dated a girl that had a coke problem that her septum collapsed, and I didn't care. Didn't care.
Yeah, that's why it's not even a cuckold thing to me. It's I'm unemotional. So like the cheating, it to me it only matters on the intent. I'm like, well, do you in love with this person? Like, or just you get horny and then you get too drunk and you made a mistake. Like that means nothing to
But
me.
then, see,
it's a nothing. It's like
also-
I don't.
but
It's like you went to a masseuse and then he did what I see in the videos. Like that's a nothing. It's a zero. It's like, what is...
I love it. I love the masseuse
It's like,
videos.
what does that have to do with our relationship?
Also, though, like I can feel. I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of you're hearing all of that and everything. I don't know. I don't even know how I get past that.
Yeah, but that's all. You'd
Yeah.
have to. It's all person to person and
Yeah.
emotion.
It
It's
is
emotional based thing.
It is super duper interesting. I mean, drugs though, absolutely nothing. The emotional thing would matter.
What about this?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying like the anti-drug thing. I'm more of like, what if she lied about it? I guess I'm trying to get down to the root. Is it the having sex with people? Is it the lying?
It's the lying.
It's the lying.
I don't think it's necessarily the sex because
to her, maybe sex isn't that big of a deal. If she didn't, like, maybe she had sex with him or sex with men, but like she didn't get in a relationship with him, so maybe she doesn't consider that cheating.
that's probably pretty accurate. I think that's good. Yeah, I think
right.
that's pretty
Like just
accurate.
partying in college.
What about this?
Like, oh, I just banged that guy one night.
Okay.
What if
People
you,
think of cheating differently, dude.
I know they do. I've
People won't ever have sex with someone, and they'll just be talking to them every day, and people consider that cheating.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you are emotionally entangled, there are a lot
Right.
of women that will file for divorce if they. There's another story that I pulled that I'm putting them in these files now because I find them fascinating. There was a lady right after this one who basically just found out that her husband was Snapchatting with her neighbor, and they were on the couch together watching TV, and they're all like neighbors. And she found that out, and she was like, "You are emotionally entangled with that woman, and I didn't know you even had a Snapchat." And he's like, "We didn't do anything physical. We did nothing." She's like, we're done. We're done."
what was it sexual in
No.
nature of the Snapchat?
No,
Just friendly?
God, I didn't want to blow this one. Okay, the short of the long on this one is the lady in question's mother got brain cancer, right? And the guy was kind of like pissed off because she was having to split her time between mom's house and their home. Okay.
Oh.
And not like pissed off, but not being supportive, being, according to her, being a bit of a D-head. Not supportive, not emotionally available. No, you're really good with this type of stuff.
Oh God, your mom's that brain.
So then the neighbor comes over. The neighbor's somebody that they've known for years and years and years. I made you food. Your mother's sick.
Yeah.
I made you a casserole. Here's the casserole. They all start talking. Would you like to stay over and watch some sports on TV while we eat? Sure, let's do this. They're sitting on the couch. They're talking. Remember, husband has not been supportive of mother dying for wife, right? But she hands her the phone. The neighbor hands the wife the phone to show her something like a picture of something in the neighborhood. She sees her husband's name on her Snapchat. Without even thinking, she taps it to read it because she's one of those people. She starts going right into it, reads it, and realizes in reading it that they're having a discussion about her husband, the neighbor's husband, and he's being emotionally available for her there. So she says, "You're going to be emotionally available for the neighbor via Snapchat, but you can't even be emotionally available for me when my mother being sick?"
Yeah,
That's bad.
That's like even to
It's my
like
favorite
Crystal.
new Reddit.
That's worse than getting
A one-night stand or
getting a
something.
happy ending at a masseuse or something. That is now your partner. You let them hang out to dry. You didn't. Now you're using emotions towards a stranger, not your partner. Like I can see that.
But you could
there.
defend it. It's easier sometimes to talk to strangers about their problems than it is to talk to your family.
Not when your family needs something from you, you're not giving it to them, but you're giving it to a stranger.
That's true.
I think that's
Yeah,
where
yeah. No,
the
I got
person
you.
get pissed off.
I got you.
Relationships. What's up with that?
They're complicated, and you could ruin them fast.
Yeah. Man.
I'm trying to think of the one I've ruined the easiest. It was never really me.
So this is what I was going to ask
I'm
you,
too
and
good.
we'll end with this. What if you found out someone, like you were with someone, and this would be hard to do, but the person's backstory, let's say, was like, oh, I moved here from Alaska, and then from and they're like, and you never. Nowadays it'd be hard to lie about this because of social media
You
and
didn't
stuff.
fact check
But anyway,
it.
their whole backstory you find out years later after you've been married for years was all a lie. Like, and they're like in what you thought, like where their family lived, where they were born, and everything was completely made up story. And they just went with it for years. And,
How close am I to this person? Is this somebody
That's your wife.
Oh, that'd be hard because then I think you're crazy.
Yeah.
like super crazy.
But then the past 20 years, you've lived with them, you've been married to them, you've had kids, like you know their life. So it doesn't, but just their like what you knew their backstory was a lie. Because who cares, really? Because all that matters is the past 20 years you spent with the person.
But don't the experiences that they've shared with you shaped what you think of them? So if they've led you down a path to believe, like if you make me think that you're a successful owner of a motorsports company, right, and I'm your wife, and we're 20 years down the road, I find out that none of that was ever true, or you were a racer, or something, like I don't know. I would start to really doubt whether, like, I'd be like, why are we even doing this? Because none of it's not real.
Well, what you know of them now is, and what your experience is now, so their past, it was all a lie.
I'd probably
so
think they're trying to hide something, like they did something
you
real
just wouldn't
bad.
trust them again. But
Well,
what if they never did anything untrustworthy, or like so that's the thing. It's like the recency bias tells me it's like what you've done in the past 10 years or in the time I've known you matters. Before that,
Gotcha.
it shouldn't matter.
That's true. Yeah.
Or what you lying
Recency
about it,
bias.
you know.
I
I
like
guess
that.
I'd be really intrigued on why they lied, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
What if it was as simple as like, I made the story up when I first
Oh, then
met
I would-
you.
I guess I wouldn't
And then
care.
I just kept it going because the real story is I'm from Oklahoma.
It's
from,
boring.
They say, or whatever it is. Like,
Or
I'm
like I was nervous and I thought that
It would
saying-
impress you,
Yeah, I thought it
yeah.
would. Yeah.
But then he's like, why didn't you ever tell me after the past 20? Like you found out 20 years later, and then it's kind of weird that this never came up.
right.
And then
God, I didn't think about that. God, this does get complicated. Relationships.
does.
What's
What's
up with
up
that?
with
Yeah,
that?
we're right back there.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more corporate time.
All right. Could have probably stopped it right at 20. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Because it was good. It was like it had
Yeah.
meat, but. All right. Where's that go?
Thursday 1. And then I'll get an intro for Wednesday.
I guess we're taking lunch now, guys.
Yep.
We'll see you in a little bit.